What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm making a sweet potato and kale breakfast hash. Yeah, the food kind.
I'm starting off this recipe by cooking some ground sausage in a pan, but if you want to make this a vegetarian recipe, you could skip this step entirely. But maybe you're not a vegetarian and you just don't have sausage laying around, or your grocery store didn't have any. Well, in place of the sausage, you could easily use bacon. The key here is, after cooking the meat, leave the grease in the pan to help cook the rest of the ingredients, like sweet potato. But again, maybe you just don't have sweet potato. Maybe you can only find white yams. Well, use the yams. Or maybe you just couldn't find yams or sweet potatoes. You could easily make this sweet potato breakfast hash with just regular potatoes, but then it would become a potato hash. Equally as good, by the way. I'm getting kind of carried away. Let's get back to the recipe. Next up, to add to this pot full of flavor, we're gonna slice up some white onions. But if you have red onions, use the red onions. Whatever you don't do, don't not use onions. I know that was a double negative, but onions make everything better. You know what else makes everything better? Peppers. The red kind, the orange kind, the yellow kind, the purple kind, the green kind, any kind. Now, as you probably realized by now, we're doing this in layers. First, we started off with the sweet potatoes. We sauteed them a little bit. Then we added the onions. We sauteed both those things a little bit. Then we added the peppers and sauteed all of that. The whole thing here is timing. You want to start with the potatoes, then you want to get to the onions, then you want to get to the peppers, then at the end, and only at the end, do you want to add the kale. Oh, you must be fact checking me and be like, yo, Josh, what's all that garlic on the cutting board? Well, garlic is one of those things that, if burnt, basically ruins your entire dish. So at the end of everything, add the garlic. Now, this last part is up to you. I'm using sourdough bread, but you could use multigrain, white bread. I'm using mayonnaise to toast it, but you could use butter or just straight up not anything at all. This is where it becomes up to you. Personally, I like eating my breakfast hash with a nice crunchy piece of sourdough bread. And the reason I use mayonnaise is because cold butter doesn't spread. So if I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Consider lathering your bread with some mayonnaise. A lot of people ask me how I cook my eggs perfectly every single time, and the key to that is twofold. 1, melted foamed out butter. 2, medium heat for a little bit longer. Cooking the perfect egg takes a little bit of patience.
So many things happening in this, all sorts of flavors and textures, of course. You get a little bit of a crunch from the pan-fried sausage. You get awesome bite, like a tangy kind of tartness, if you will, from the balsamic vinegar. And then on top of the entire thing are 2 perfectly fried eggs. And those eggs, they're pretty cool. But you know what's even cooler? Taking some sourdough and dipping it in that yolk. You know, that's the cool thing about a dish like this. It's very much choose your own adventure. Especially when you pop the egg and the yolk oozes all over inside the nooks and crannies of the hash. It almost becomes like a sauce on its own. And the flavors in here are really interesting. There's a lot of tanginess, a lot of sweetness from the sweet potatoes and the balsamic vinegar, but it all comes together. It's a really balanced dish, you know? And like I said, the ingredients are a guideline. Maybe you don't have sausage, you can leave it out. Maybe you want to use bacon, you could add it. The point is, it's delicious. And if you want to make it at home, you can check the link down below, or you can hit up recipechampions.com, where I publish at least one recipe every single week, including this one. I got this whole plate to eat, and I'm super excited. Bye.